what I want to do is I want to talk about what I have in this bag right here. And in this bag I have an emergency supplies kit. You might think to yourself it's a little extreme to have a whole bunch of stuff packed into a bag in case something happens, but it's a lot more likely than you think that some disaster could have happened, especially with a hurricane, power outages, storms, any type of terrorist type act. There are good reasons that you would want to have some stuff packed up ahead of time, and I want to show you what I have in mind. Now, this bag is something that I'll keep by the front of my door, so if something were to happen, I need to leave the house, or possibly I'm already in my house and I don't want to leave the house, I have this quick access to. So either way, I can either leave and grab this bag on my way out, or I can keep it inside the house and have everything inside ready. So let me show you what I have inside here. First thing I have a flashlight. Roll of duct tape. There's a lot of good uses for this. The first aid kit, and what's inside here is just bandages, gloves, a few pills, tablets, just a basic type of things you would need. Then I have a couple of compact, waterproof sleeping bags. So this is something that you can open up. It takes up a really small amount of space, but you open it up, it's like a sleeping bag. You can lay inside, stay warm, stay cool. It blocks the outside temperature. A little bottle of Vaseline. Whenever you get cut, especially on a spot like an elbow on the face, Vaseline is one of the best things you can do to cover up and protect the cut. I also have another flashlight. This one isn't battery operated. This one is hand operated. So if I'm in a situation where I'm running out of batteries but I still need to see in the dark, I can crank this, and as long as I'm cranking it, it's going to produce some light for me. Some face masks. There's dust in the air, maybe like a hurricane situation where there's dust and debris flying, a tornado. You want something to protect your lungs. Now right here I have a small radio, and this radio has AM, FM, and weather channel. So this is perfect for a hurricane situation where I'm trying to figure out what the weather is. I have my own earphones here. It takes batteries, but you can also crank it and get power by cranking it if some batteries are gone or I'm in a situation where I don't have batteries. This is my survival knife. This is having a good knife is really important if you're in a survival situation. You can use it on a lot of different cases. And this knife especially, I have sharp edge and serrated edges on the back, but if I screw open the handle, the bottom becomes a compass. And inside the handle, a small little tablet. And inside here, I have a couple waterproof matches and fishing line and a fishing hook. So if I needed to go out, I was out maybe in the wilderness or something, trapped out, I could use some of that to stay out a little bit longer. Pen and paper. Now right here I have something called Iodine Tablets. Now what these can do is if you're out and you find a pond somewhere, you can't necessarily drink pond water because there's bacteria and there's little critters inside the water, but if you drop one of these iodine tablets in the water and let it sit for a while, it'll kill all those nasty things that are potentially harmful to you. So then a half hour later that water is good to drink. I have some Ziploc bags. Fine things, I can put them in here. I can use it to collect water. It's waterproof. Anything I want to put inside here that I don't want to get wet. Pair of scissors. I do have a few matches inside a Ziploc bag, and again I can use the bag after the fact. Now this one's a little bit extreme, but I have a gas mask. This is a gas mask approved for biological attacks, nuclear attacks, and chemical attacks. Filters also in the box. I have some garbage bags. In a pinch I could make like a raincoat out of a garbage bag. And I also have just pure plastic sheets if I wanted to maybe build a shelter. I can build a shelter with the garbage bag stuff too, but if I was outside I could sort of build like a roof over my head and block it off with this, or if I was inside I could tape up the plastic across the windows or across the cracks in the house if I was trying to keep the air outside, and just have a little bit of rope and string. I have a pack of batteries. I have a small pocket knife. This has can opener if I need to open basic blades. Not as good as my bigger knife, but it's still good to have a nice utility knife like this too. I have a little folded up piece of tin foil, and what I can do with this, I can make this into a pot. If I want to boil some water, I can sort of make it up. I can put fire on this. I can reshape this. I can make this into like a plate. If I want to cook something, I can cook it on here. It doesn't take a lot of space up in the bag. What this is a magnesium block, and what I can do with a magnesium block is what you're supposed to do if you want to start a fire, you shave pieces of the magnesium off into a pile, and then you use a blade and you use this strip right here, and what it will do is it will start a fire. I don't want to start a real fire, but I just want to show you what you would do. You'd scrape off piles of magnesium, and then if you wanted to light that pile, and magnesium lights really easily, shoot it off. If you use zip ties, again, you can use creative. There's lots of uses for zip ties. And the final thing I have is a whistle. If I want to get people's attention, I can grab the whistle. Now I have a few more things in the side pockets. In the side pockets here I have a couple bottles of water. Now the amount of water that's in here isn't really useful for a survival situation, but one of the reasons I have these 3 bottles of water is for the bottles themselves. I want to collect more water. I can use the plastic bottles the water's already in. And on the other side, I have a bunch of canned food. And canned food can last a really long time. Some of this type of food can last up to 30 years and still be edible. Now, one thing some people might say I'm missing from my bag would be some sort of gun or firearm. And while I agree in a lot of situations having a tool like that could be helpful, I keep this by the front of my door for easy access, and I don't necessarily want my gun to be easily accessible, especially to someone just walking in the door.